Welcome back. Are you ready to unlock the power of data visualizations in Python? Well, today we're going to dive into some of the best libraries for creating stunning visuals. I'm going to show you how to create a sales regression chart step by step, and as a bonus, I'm going to show you how to generate your own custom QR codes at the very end. I'm Chris Gambill. This is my channel, Gambill Data Engineering, where I take my 25 years of experience in the data realm and share it with you so that you too can become a data master. So, today I'm going to cover data visualizations to show you how to create specifically a regression chart. If you're ready, let's jump in. So, first, we're going to cover some libraries that you could use for data visualizations, talk a little bit about each of them. Then, I'm going to cover specifically step by step how you could create your own sales regression chart with sales data. And finally, we're going to go over that custom QR code and show you how to create your own custom QR codes using Python. So, super exciting agenda for today. Let's talk about some general overview of Python visualization tools that you can use to create some cool visuals. So Python is an incredible language when it comes to analysis and visualization. There are several powerful libraries out there, and each one has its own different strengths. Let's go over a few of them and talk about what each of their strengths are. First, we're going to talk about the one that we're going to use today primarily, matplotlib. So first, it's the kind of the OG of Python visualization libraries. If you need full control over your plots, matplotlib gives you the power to customize almost every aspect of your figure. Whether it's a bar chart, line graph, or scatter plot, matplotlib has you covered. Next, we have Seaborn. Built on top of matplotlib, it makes your plots look even better with less effort. It's great for statistical visualization and perfect for making complex plots look aesthetically pleasing with just a few lines of code. Next, we have Plotly. Plotly is all about interactivity. If you need graphs that users can zoom in or out, hover over, then this is your go-to library. It's great for dashboards and presentations where interactivity matters. As a special tip, pretty soon you're going to be able to use Python from within Excel. So these are going to be cool libraries that you could use from actually within Excel for those of you that are data analysts creating visualizations. Really quickly, let's talk about Pandas visualization. I bet you didn't even know that Pandas had a visualization capability. So if you're working with a data frame, Pandas actually makes it super easy to generate quick plots, and it integrates seamlessly with matplotlib. Alright, this one's a sneaky one. I snuck in a bonus. Altair. It's another great option for focusing on simplicity and declarative syntax. If you prefer a more streamlined coding experience, check that one out. Again, the ones we're going to talk about today are matplotlib, and we're actually going to use scikit-learn as well, but I'll show you that step by step here in a moment. Now that we've covered some of the best Python visualization libraries, let's dive deep into this specific example, creating a sales regression chart using matplotlib and scikit-learn to show a trend of small businesses' sales over time. We'll start by importing matplotlib for visualization, NumPy for handling data, and then we'll use scikit-learn's linear regression model for performing the regression analysis. You'll see at the top of the script, I have a line where I'm doing the install for the matplotlib as well as the scikit-learn. NumPy generally comes with your Python install. You shouldn't have to worry about installing that, but if you do, be sure to install that as well. If you missed our tutorial on how to use pip, be sure to check that out in the link below in the details of the video. So, let's jump into the code here. We're doing a few imports here. We're importing matplotlib and specifically the pyplot, and we're creating a and we're calling that PLT. And then we are importing NumPy, and we're aliasing that as NP for NumPy. And then from scikit-learn, we're importing the linear model, and we're importing specifically the linear regression class. Now, let's jump into this next part of the code. So this is pretty cool. We're using a NumPy array to declare the months, as well as the total sales for each month for our small business. You'll see we're doing NP for NumPy and then dot array. So we're creating an array of basically months, right? 1 through 12. If you missed our Python tutorial on data structures, Python data structures, be sure to check that out as well. It's really important to understand data structures as you're getting into the fundamentals of Python. So NumPy array 1 through 12, we're using this reshape here, and we're doing that reshape is like rearranging those numbers. The -1 actually means to use however many rows that it takes to complete the action. The 1 means make it have 1 column. So it's going to be 1 column of 12 rows, right, in this case. And so it kind of reshapes the array into a different format that's ready for the scatter plot. Now, this next one, again, we have a NumPy array of all of the sales data for each of the 12 months. You'll see that there are 12 different figures here for the sales data for our small business. So, first step, create a scatter plot by using the matplotlib pyplot. So first, we're going to create the scatter plot. We're going to use the months, right, from our NumPy array. We're going to use the sales data as the y-axis. We're going to say the color is going to be blue and the label is going to be sales data. Now we can name this anything we want, but I like blue, and sales data makes sense for the data that we're using. Next, we're going to create a shell for the model. So keeping in mind that Python is a object-oriented programming language, we need to create kind of a bucket or a cup that we could fill with a certain thing. So we're going to create a model container that has for our linear regression. Now we're going to say model fit the months and the sales. And what that's going to do is it's going to analyze and fit and create a model for the months, right? And that's going to be our x-axis, and then our sales is going to be our y-axis. So next, we're going to do a predicted sales bucket, right? Another variable called predicted sales. We're going to take our model and we're going to tell it to predict the sales, right? And by month. Finally, we're going to plot all that back out by the months, the predicted sales. Our color for our regression line is going to be red, and we're going to call that trend line. These next PLT things here are really just labeling. So we could label this however we need to. In this case, we're going to do our title as the sales regression for small business. We're going to do our X label for our month, our Y label for our sales in US dollars, and then create a legend. Finally, we're going to show the plot. What it's going to do, you'll see here in a moment when we run the code, it's actually going to create a new window with our scatter plot in it. So let's run the code and see what we got. Look at that. Again, NumPy really runs very quickly. It doesn't take long at all. Even with, tens of thousands of records, it really is pretty instant. You start to get in the millions and it might take a little bit, but still pretty fair, pretty quick. So again, you could make this big and it does scale as you make it bigger, and you'll see that we've got our trend line and we've got our legend up here. We've got our blue dots for our sales data, our red line for our trend line. We've got sales USD for our y-axis, month for our x-axis, and that's our regression, right? So pretty cool, very quick, and a very simple regression analysis of sales for a small business. So it's super cool, super easy. Let's change a couple things, and just to show you that we could adjust this. Let's change this, and let's make these exponentially bigger as we get down through here. Their sales really grew as time went on for 12 months. All right, so let's do that. Let's change our color for our dots to green. Let's change our line to orange. Let's see if it works. Let's run it. See what we've got. Look at that. Now this is all kinds of jacked up, right? Because we have all these outliers. So it's not, you could tell easily that this doesn't look right. But, I mean, this is the trend line for the information that it has. So we do have an orange line. We do have green dots. So you see that you could easily really make this your own. If you have any questions about how matplotlib works, or how any of these things work within that we're doing within our tutorials, be sure to message down below, or send me an email. Again, the gambill@dataengineering.com/contact. You could reach out to me there, or my email address or any of my social links are on the YouTube page, and I'd be happy to talk through any of it. If you do have any questions, be sure you put them in the comments down below, and I will get to them as soon as I can. Other than that, let's talk about our super cool QR code script. All right, like I said, have a super cool QR code script here. The QR code library is QR code, very simple. You'll notice here that in square brackets, I actually have this PIL. What that means is it's gonna add this pillow library as well when it does the install. And that is important to be able to create some custom QR codes that you could add your company logo to the center of the QR code. So it's really cool, really neat. And I wanted to show you this because it kind of fits along with visualizations and is a cool added bonus. So again, QR code, again, at the top of the script, we have the pip install, just something that if you want to get the copy of the script, you could easily copy and paste that into your command line or into your terminal and run that to install the libraries that are needed. Again, you'll see that we're importing a couple of packages, the QR code, and then from the PIL, which is the pillow library, we're importing image so that we could add the image to the QR code. You'll see that here at the very beginning, we have a couple of variables that we're setting, the website address and the logo. I did that because I'm using it a couple times, one to create a plain QR code and one to create the custom QR code so that you can see the difference between the two. So I'm using my own website address here. Again, gambilldataengineering.com/contact. So if you want to contact me, that's how you get to me. In addition, you'll be able to see here in a second and be able to just take a picture and scan the QR code that comes up. So my logo is this android.png. So my PNG file, again, we're creating another variable called QR, which again, we have to have some buckets, right? So it's kind of like a bucket that we're putting something into. So we're saying QR code make, and then we're providing it the website address. So QR code, again, is the library that we're installing. Make is the function that we're calling from that QR code library, and then we're feeding it the website address. So the cool thing about when you're typing in Python, when you're typing it out, you'll actually have the IntelliSense that will pop up and kind of tell you what it's wanting, along with any other variables that you could potentially add. So here, we're giving it the QR code information. We're giving it the website address. Next, qr.save will save that image to a file. We're naming it gamblecontact.png. So very simple, just to create a very basic QR code. You could put any website address in here and it will create the QR code. Super cool, super easy. Now, let's get into something a little bit more complex. We're going to get into how to create a custom QR code. It does take a few extra steps, but it's worth it to be able to add your logo to your QR codes, and you could add that QR code to any type of media that you have. If you have brochures that you send out, if you have a website that you want to add it to, or any type of videos that you do that maybe you want to add it to, then you could do that. Here you'll see we're creating this QR code bucket again. So QR code in caps. So this is the function. We're creating a couple of extra things here. So we're setting a version. So this kind of controls the size of the QR code. The higher numbers mean a bigger size. So if you need a larger QR code, then you could increase that version number. We're adding in some error correction, so it allows for a little bit of a higher error tolerance because we are adding a image into the center of the QR code. It does not really impact whether or not your customers get to the right place or whoever you're sending it to, right? Because you could create a QR code for your LinkedIn profile, a QR code for your Facebook profile, whatever. Any website address, you could create a QR code for in this. So we're adding the box size. So this is the size of the box where each pixel is going to be drawn, as well as a border. Again, this is just the thickness of the border around the QR code. So any of these numbers can be adjusted, increased or decreased based on your preference as you're creating your QR code. Next, we're going to say qr.addData. So this is a little bit different of a function than what we were using before. We're adding the data for the website address so that we're starting that QR code build. Next, we're going to say make fit equals true. So basically what that's doing is we're saying make the QR code fit within the realms of what we defined as qrcode.qrcode just above. Then we're creating a bucket for the QR code image. So we're saying qr.makeImage. We're going to say fill black, back color white, convert RGB. Next, we're doing a bucket for our logo. So we're saying image. Again, image is what we're pulling from that pillow library, that PIL library. Again, we're going to say image.open, and then we're going to put in our logo. So again, up at the top, we do have our variable for our logo. So we're adding it there. We're giving it a width and a height. So we're saying QR image, code image dot size, because the QR, you don't want the image to overlap the whole QR code. You just want it at the center so that you have it at the center. You've probably seen some QR codes in the past that have like a dinosaur in the center, little almost like 32-bit, 16-bit dinosaur in the center. Looks kind of neat. But here you could add your own custom logo. Again, we're going to do a logo resize just to make sure that the size fits within the boundaries of that center of that QR code. We're going to position it in the center. That's what this part's doing. So it's calculating all of that to do the position for the center. And again, I'll provide this code so that you could just copy and paste it and add your own add your own stuff. All you have to do is shoot me an email or reach out to me via the contact form, and I'm happy to provide it. Also, all of our scripts are going to be within our Gambill DataSphere. If you'd like to join the Gambill DataSphere, be sure to check out the website. You'll be able to get to it in our services section for the Gambill DataSphere. It's free to join. All you have to do is provide your name and your email address, and you can get into the Gambill DataSphere, which has cool stuff like all of our scripts for our videos, along with our coding challenge information that we do our monthly coding challenge, and spotlight the winner at the end of each month. So next, we're going to paste our logo in. So QR code image.paste. Again, it's kind of like copy and pasting your image directly into the center of that QR code. And then we're going to save the QR code to our computer. Let's run this so that I could show you what comes out. You'll see it ran super quick. Took like a quarter of a second. We're going to open up our file explorer. I'm going to show you that this is one QR code. This is the other QR code. And you'll see that I have my custom image in the center. So super cool. If you scan both of these, you'll see that they both take you to the GambillDataEngineering.com /contacts. And both of them are slightly different. They're not identical, but they do both take you to the same place. One is a little bit cooler. You can put any of your business icons, personal icons. You put a picture of yourself in the center there if you'd like to, a headshot. Today we've covered some of the most important and powerful Python visualization libraries. We've walked through creating a sales regression chart using matplotlib, added a little bonus by generating a QR code along with a custom QR code that you could add your own logo or headshot to the center of. So whether you're building dashboards, analyzing data, or even creating your own interactive reports, these tools are going to bring your data to life. Now, again, if you're interested in doing our coding challenge or have started the coding challenge, be sure that you get your submissions in by September 30th by noon Eastern time in order to be considered as for our spotlight that we will do when we do our code review for the September challenge. If there is you have any questions or would like to download any of the scripts that we looked at during the video today, be sure to send me an email at chris.gambill@dataengineering.com or go into our Gambill DataSphere on gambilldataengineering.com and join our Gambill DataSphere community. That's all I had for you today. I hope you learned something. I hope that you got something out of it. If you did, be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you again on the next video.